Did we say all right at the same time?
Yes, we did.
Oh, can you tell that we're brothers?
I think so, yeah. We
Welcome.
look similar. Similar features.
And also our names there. Can you see our names?
Yeah,
I'm
yes, I
Dave.
can.
This is my brother. And this is the WWE Extreme Rules post-show. We just watched WWE Extreme Rules 2019. We just saw Brock Lesnar become the new Universal Champion, a 3-time champion now, beating Seth Rollins, cashing in the money in the bank that he won. And now we have Brock on top once again. I'm sure a lot of people are upset. We'll be taking your comments here on the show. We'll be recapping all of WWE Extreme Rules as we do after every WWE pay-per-view here. You can like this video. You can subscribe to the channel. And you can join us each and every time that we are here. Sometimes it's me and Johnny North. Sometimes it's me, this guy, and Johnny North. Sometimes for UFC shows, like you saw last Saturday, it was me, this guy, Freddie,
Paul,
and of course,
AJ.
AJ. You know me. What? The world famous AJ. Of course, you all know AJ. But we're here to talk about WWE Extreme Rules, not about AJ. That's the show that we do on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. with AJ here on the channel.
Now it's time to get extreme.
Let's get extreme. So, yeah. What did you think of the pay-per-view overall? What did you give it on 10? I was entertained by the show. I thought it was all right. It wasn't as good as I had hoped it would be. It was solid, though. I thought it was I'd give it a good 7 on 10, a surprise finish. It was, it was passable, maybe 6.5. 6.5, I think.
Yeah.
Not quite a 7. It wasn't great. I'll give it a 6.5 on 10. There were some matches that were fun. I thought Alistair Black and Cesaro had a great match. Alistair Black beating Cesaro there. I liked AJ Styles and Ricochet. I thought that was a fantastic match. I thought that was match of the night.
Possibly.
I thought that was the best match that we saw tonight. Undertaker and Roman Reigns over Shane and Drew McIntyre in the no-holds-barred tag team match was
nothing special.
Nothing special, I think really the takeaway from that is that Undertaker looked pretty good.
Fine, yeah. I mean, at the end there, Shane was sandbagging him, I mean, that was more Shane's fault, but didn't look really good on Taker. Brought back memories of Goldberg.
Yeah, on the tombstone, you're saying, at the end?
Yeah, at the very end, just at the very end, the little, ooh.
Yeah, it didn't look so good at the end.
But before that, we were talking about how he does look good.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured he would look like because he's a competent professional wrestler. He's just a little bit older. And this tag team match afforded him some breaks. Like, you could stand on the apron for a while and tag out to Roman when you get tired. That's not something you can do in a one-on-one match with Goldberg where you're the kind of guy they're relying on to carry the match. So, I didn't put a lot of blame on that match on The Undertaker. I think that's more of a Bill
Taker
Goldberg
did what he
type
was
of deal.
able to do in this match.
Yeah, and in this match here, he had, Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns there, Roman to team with and Drew to wrestle with, and Shane McMahon was there as well, and he's familiar with Shane. They've wrestled quite a bit in the past, so they had some stuff that they could do with each other. Taker didn't do much. It was pretty limited from what Undertaker did.
I thought his bump on the table was a little bit more brutal than you did. I thought it looked like his shoulder blade was kind of bleeding at the end.
When he rolled off the table, the announce table.
When he bounced, he hit like a monitor or something on his shoulder and it cut him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cut, but it looked like a nasty kind of bump.
Yeah, I mean it's
kind of maybe his head bounced in a rough way. But
I didn't think that was the best match on the card, and it was pretty long.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt about a lot of this pay-per-view. It didn't matter how long or short the match was. It's just everything kind of dragged. Like a lot of the matches, I was looking at the card there, like the Usos and Revival match just kind of dragged. Samoa Joe, Kofi Kingston just kind of dragged. Just a lot that the opening match. And I don't know, I feel like I gave Stomping Grounds like a modest, even though I like Stomping Grounds more than this pay-per-view, I feel like I gave Stomping Grounds like a modest like 7 or something, so I got to give this like a 5.
Really?
Maybe 4.
Because you're saying this was much worse than Stomping Grounds.
Yeah.
You like Stomping Grounds way better than this.
I like and we were thinking the opposite after during our Stomping Grounds post show.
Well, I'm seeing some.
I was disappointed.
I'm seeing some comments here in the
Bailey match wasn't anything special.
No, the Bailey match was surprisingly nothing. Yeah. And that was one of the matches I was looking forward to the most, and they really did nothing. And Bailey just won.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a miscommunication from Alexa and Nikki, I guess.
Kinda.
What was the deal there?
I feel like Alexa got hit off the
She got bumped off the top rope by Bailey, and then Nikki Cross
it was actually,
tagged in and got beat. And that was it. There was no miscommunication.
No, there wasn't.
Was
Bailey
no
just
kind of bumping into each other. Bailey just beat them.
Fine, but didn't feel like that was the story they were trying to tell.
No. It was really weird.
Yeah. A lot of matches kind of had that feel. Speaking of matches that dragged, that last man standing match.
Oh,
Maroon.
Yeah, the Braun Strowman Bobby Lashley match was not very good.
And how long did they go for? I was thinking it felt like
long.
At least 20 minutes.
It was almost there, 17 and a half.
Oof.
It was long.
And nothing special, and that dive at the end into a bunch of padding and it just felt so theatrical and fake.
Yeah, a lot of their bumps, that we're supposed to be impressed by seemed too choreographed and fake and movie style.
Yeah, big cushion.
Like they did that bump at the concession stand where Bobby hit the wall, and then he landed on this thing that was clearly not the floor. It was this raised kind of padded area that Bobby could bump on easily, So it was like, oh, he bumped on the floor. No, he kind of bumped on a thing they had set up very elaborately that probably cost a lot of money, right? And then they had that big bump, and it looked like they were going to take a big fall because the camera was shooting it really well because you didn't know how far the drop was.
Felt like they were going to hit the arena
hey,
floor.
they're going to drop, and then they dropped a couple feet onto this big cushiony crash pad thing,
plywood or something,
and you're supposed to think, oh, they're just crashing and dying, but it really just seems like they're falling into some big old pillows, and then they're walking away, and Braun walks away from that, and we're supposed to be like, wow, he wins the last man standing. Where's Bobby Lashley? Is he dead? It's like, no,
resting comfortably,
chilling. It's just.
And what was that thing doing there?
And there was a lot of just
doesn't make any sense.
Brawling in the crowd, and it went on for way too long. It was not good, and that's one of the reasons why Extreme Rules kind of dragged. I thought that Seth and Becky beating Baron and Lacey was fun.
Yeah, that was fine.
There were some good moments. They were hitting each other with weapons. There were some good chair shots. There was some good kendo stick shots. I thought all 4 of those people went out and worked very hard tonight. They put their bodies on the line. And, say what you want about Baron or Lacey or Becky or Seth, I thought they did well tonight.
Yeah,
I thought they did what they had to do.
I'd say that was probably my match of the night. I really liked that table spot where Becky did the leg drop and then Seth did that really impressive frog splash.
That frog splash was amazing on the outside of the ring.
That was a nice one, too. I was wondering what they were going to do when they set up those 2 tables, and I wasn't looking forward to anything special. That was a pretty good spot.
Yeah, Becky even doing her leg drop from off the apron, right? She's off the apron. She does the leg drop on Lacey, who's on the table closest to the ring. And then Seth from the top rope dives like 10, 15 feet. Like it was
way
crazy.
Over, like he wasn't close to them.
He flies way over them and does this amazing frog splash on Baron Corbin, who's very far away from him. It was super athletic and super impressive. I loved it.
And, of course, Becky taking the end of days there. Right as we were discussing intergender wrestling. And
I was talking about that while we were watching the match. I was saying, it's Extreme Rules, right? So they can't get disqualified, but the one rule that they are sticking by, they're hitting each other with chairs, with kendo sticks, with whatever. The one rule they are sticking by is, the men are going to wrestle the men and the women wrestle the women. But then it wasn't really like that because Lacey Evans nailed Seth with a really stiff kendo stick shot to the gut. And she did something else to Seth at one point. And then Baron hit Seth with a move and had Seth pinned 1-2, and then Becky jumped on Baron Corbin with a double axe handle to stop the pin. So there was some like female on male attacking, and I was like, well, it's not really fair. Like, at some point you would think, especially if you're a heel, you would attack the female during the match.
Lo and behold.
And there you go. And just as I was saying that, it was kind of funny.
Yeah. It was like, whoa!
Here we go. Baron Corbin hits his end of days on Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins gets really mad. He grabs a kendo stick. He destroys it on Baron Corbin. Stiff shots. Good shots. Yeah. I enjoyed that. And then he hit him with like 3 curb stomps.
Yeah.
It's kind of overkill. And I kind of wanted to see him check on Becky Lynch before winning the match, before beating up on Baron Corbin. Like, your girlfriend just took an end of days from a 6'7", 6'8", 300-pound monster, and you're just like, I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to get my revenge for me before I go check on her. I think in real life, that's not the right thing to do.
He was blinded by his rage, pal. The drama.
I guess that's how the WWE would explain it. Or maybe they revisit that very thing on Monday Night Raw, right?
Maybe if we want. Now that Seth doesn't have a title and Becky does, it could drive a little point of contention in their relationship. Like we've been wanting.
Yeah, so
break them up.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Becky and Seth relationship now that Seth is no longer champion. So Seth hits 3 curb stomps on Baron and then pins Baron for the win. Brock Lesnar comes out. Becky's still down outside the ring. Seth doesn't even have time to really check on her before Brock Lesnar comes in, hits him with a couple suplexes. Heyman cashes in the briefcase. Brock hits an F5. 1, 2, 3. New Universal Champion. And fade to black. We go home. That's how Extreme Rules ends. I like the finish. I think the finish saved this pay-per-view in a big way. I thought this pay-per-view was very average until the main event and the end of the card. We had a very solid main event. A lot of violence. Extreme Rules. They delivered on the promise of what they were trying to bring. Mm-hmm. And Brock Lesnar comes in, surprises us, and does cash in the Money in the Bank on Seth Rollins. I think a lot of people were wondering if he was really going to show up. A lot of people were wondering maybe he was going to cash in on Kofi. But no, Brock shows up, cashes in on Seth, becomes Universal Champion. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I kind of like it.
I don't hate it either. Although I feel nowadays with a lot of Brock Lesnar things, like whenever he does something, whether like gets an opportunity at a title or gets a title or does anything, there's always this feeling of, or loses a title even, there's always a feeling of let's get it over with. Like Brock's going to do this. He's going to get the belts. It's just a matter of time. So when he finally does, it feels like it's like a relief. It's like, okay, fine. Like, let's have a little more progression in the storyline. Except now it's the whole Brock Lesnar's champion, shows up whenever he feels like it. Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins going to cut a promo saying, I'm here every week. Right. Where's Brock?
Right.
And it's going to be that same old. Probably. Unless he drops it at SummerSlam to somebody else.
Unless we're doing something else. Like, the word was, Heyman and Bischoff are fully taken over Raw and SmackDown after Extreme Rules when all the things are finished. Mm-hmm. They're going to take over from there. So who knows what Brock Lesnar does now? Who knows?
If Heyman's there every week, Brock might be there more often? Or he'll like the creative?
What else is Brock doing? Yeah, maybe if Brock enjoys the creative, enjoys what he's doing, maybe he'll show up a little bit more. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it is...
The money has to be good,
It is kind of back to, here's Brock again. He's a Universal Champion. When's he going to show up? How often is this going to happen? And when you have a guy who's there very sparingly, it's not enough to run a Monday Night Raw without a world champion. It's tough to have a show with no real purpose. Like, what are they fighting for if the champion isn't there?
Yeah, well, AJ Styles is now like the top guy on Raw.
But Brock could just drop it at SummerSlam, right? Like, and the next
Seth in
the
a
next
rematch?
Seth or Kofi in a unification bout. Kofi's running through everybody. Why not Brock?
Be interesting.
Kofi beat Samoa Joe tonight. I thought the match was solid. I didn't think it was the best match on the card, but I thought it was one of the best matches on the card. I'd say top 3 or 4 matches.
It was fine, but I don't remember very much from that.
Yeah. It wasn't super memorable. It was just under 10 minutes.
Yeah. Trouble in Paradise.
Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise on Joe. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Kofi's still WWE champion.
Joe goes down like the others.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of going down quickly, how about Dolph Ziggler? How long was that match?
I think it was about 5 seconds, 15 seconds, something like that. I don't know. Kevin Owens hit Dolph Ziggler with a stunner. 1, 2, 3. Match over. It's good, though. You put Kevin Owens strong. You put him over really well, and that's what you're trying to do right now with Kevin Owens. They seem like they're trying to do something.
In a way, it's one of my top matches of the night. Shows Kevin Owens like super strong with the stunner. I like it. It makes me very happy.
It was one of my entertaining. It was one of my favorite results of the night.
Yeah.
Like, I like the New Day just as much as the next guy, okay? But I don't like when Daniel Bryan loses a championship ever.
Especially him taking the fall.
Yeah. Sucked. Like, I'm pissed. Like, I'm legit
mixed
mad.
Feelings.
I'm mad. No, I'm mad every time they take something away from Daniel Bryan. Unless this leads to Daniel Bryan taking the WWE Championship from Kofi Kingston on Tuesday night and then taking the title from Brock at SummerSlam and becoming the undisputed WWE Champion, I'm not happy.
I don't know if I see that happening.
I don't think it's happening.
He might feud with Otis or something.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Not happy with that.
I don't know what their plans are for Bryan.
So Xavier Woods and Big E win the tag team titles for the first time without Kofi. Like, this is the first time with just E and Kofi kind of on their, or E and Woods on their own, where Kofi's a WWE champion. So it is kind of cool to see them, like, they're a legit tag team without the third man.
It was a big deal.
I like them. I'm a huge fan.
6th reign?
6-time tag team champions. And now they've got all the gold, right?
Yeah.
They all have championships, so it's good.
If it wasn't at the expense of Bryan, this would be actually a really good moment.
That's
like,
it.
New Day has all the gold.
That's it.
This is kind of something we've been talking about for a long time.
It's just my love for Daniel Bryan is clouding my vision for the New Day. Like, I love the New Day very much, but
we're happy
I like Daniel Bryan more.
Keep it tight, Woodsy.
Yeah, I like Daniel Bryan more than everybody. That's kind of the problem, so... But I thought that match was really good. I thought it was one of the better matches on the card.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Heavy Machinery did well.
Great showing from Tucker.
Gotta love Tucker. Big Tucky.
We're on the Tucker trade.
Tucky. And Otis, too. I like Otis.
Ducky.
Don't forget about Otis.
No, Otis is great.
Otis isn't the Jannetty of the team, but neither is Tucker. There is no Jannetty in Heavy Machinery. They're both awesome. I love Heavy Machinery. I've been a big backer of Heavy Machinery since basically their debut. Like, as soon as I saw these guys, especially Otis, as soon as I saw Otis, I was like, this guy's money. This guy's like a white Big E. He's tremendous.
I love their stuff in NXT also. They have some really creative moves. They haven't really been allowed to showcase all of them yet, but they could do some really cool stuff together.
He's very good.
Yeah.
They're both very talented guys. The Heavy Machines, Heavy Machinery. I like them.
Good addition to the tag team division.
And they had a really good match. Like, they fit in really well. Bryan and Rowan. Rowan looked good in the match. The New Day looked good in the match. And Heavy Machinery did well, 14 minutes. And the New Day become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
For now.
Well, for now. We'll see.
Could be a rematch. Could be some, screwing around.
Put Bryan back in the singles division. Like, if you're going to take the tag team titles off of him and you're not going to take him seriously as one of the tag team champions and you're not going to really go with his push to make the tag team division serious, well then, fine. Make him,
do something.
The champion then.
Maybe.
Something major like that, Give him a feud with Kevin Owens or something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they can't really make him Intercontinental Champion because the heel just took that belt.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, that happened. The first pre-show match was Shinsuke Nakamura beating Finn Balor to become the new Intercontinental Champion in under 8 minutes.
Is Finn hurt?
I don't know. We both missed the match. We were eating chicken.
Yeah.
We were eating dinner with our parents and the rest of the family. And we're having some chicken, and I wasn't even aware that the match was going to take place. Usually the matches don't start till like 6:30, but there was like a match at 6 o'clock or something. I don't know. Missed it. I'll watch it later. I'm sure it was very good. I'm hearing it was awesome, and I'll definitely watch it because Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor is a match I wanted to see, but didn't realize it would be on the pre-show. Oh, well. All right, I want to check some of the comments here. You said you're giving it, what, a 5?
5,
maybe
maybe even 4.5. Not too impressed with its performance.
I'm giving it a 6.5 on 10. I think it was all right. I like the Brock finish. Chris Carter gives it a 7 on 10. Antoinette gives it a 7 on 10, minus Brock, and then it's a 0. She doesn't like Brock. Anthony Plesia gives it a 7 on 10. Alex Terrace wants to know where Johnny North is. Ben also wants to know where Johnny North is. Wow, everybody a big Johnny North fan.
Am I not good enough for you?
Johnny North is not here tonight. We couldn't get Johnny North. We couldn't schedule the big man in here. He had different things. I had different things. Don't worry. Johnny will be back soon. Johnny will never be replaced. Yeah. Seeing a bunch of comments here on the chat. What else here? What else happened at Extreme Rules? What was your match of the night? That's what I want to know from everybody. What was your match of the night? Your favorite match at WWE Extreme Rules? Mine was Ricochet and AJ Styles. I'm giving it to the new United States champion, Alan Jones.
It's good.
That was my match
AJ.
of the night. I thought the match was fantastic. I like AJ and Ricochet. And it was cool to see AJ become new champion. A lot of new champions tonight, right? Like a lot of belts change hands. Nakamura, new Intercontinental champion. Drew Gulak retains the Cruiserweight title. He's still there.
New Day.
The Revival retained the Raw Tag Team titles, but the New Day become the new Tag Team champions. AJ becomes the new U.S. champion. Nakamura's the new Intercontinental champion. And Brock Lesnar is the new Universal champion.
Yeah, quite a few.
A lot of title changes at Extreme Rules.
It's kind of strange. I guess maybe like a little bit before that, the new management of Bischoff and Heyman.
They kind of want to set things in one direction. They're like, yeah, we're going to give you the keys, but we're going to make sure, it's set in this kind of, you're going to go down this road, you know? We're going to give you the keys to the car. We're going to tell you can go anywhere you want as long as you follow this map that we're about to give you.
And there's like a controlled speed limit.
There are 3 roads you can go down. Like it all leads to the same destination. Yeah. You just pick the road, You just choose which road you want to go down.
All roads lead to Roman.
Exactly. All roads lead to Rome or Roman Reigns or Seth maybe, but probably Roman. Mm-hmm. At this point, right? Like, okay, they got the title off Seth. Brock has the championship. Roman and The Undertaker won a match tonight.
Maybe a triple threat at SummerSlam.
Maybe just Roman and Brock at SummerSlam.
Maybe. Did they do that last year?
I don't know.
Did that when Roman squashed Brock? It was at SummerSlam, wasn't it? When Roman won the title back from Brock and he just speared him a few times and that was it.
I'll tell you in a second.
I feel like that was a SummerSlam.
I think you might be right.
Either last year or the year before.
Last year, yeah. Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar in 6 minutes at SummerSlam. Rematch this year?
Sure, why
Or they
not?
do a triple threat. A triple threat isn't a bad idea either.
Taker.
Roman.
Or Fatal 4-Way with Seth and Taker.
I don't think you put Taker in that. I think Taker goes with Drew. Kevin Owens goes with Shane. Roman and Seth go with Brock in a triple threat.
Okay. Hasn't been done before.
It's money. It's a big match.
And each guy has their own things, Seth's got revenge, and then Roman's like, hey, I want the belt. And Seth's like, why are you trying to take the spotlight from me, Roman?
They're all believable to walk out champion.
Yeah.
That's a tough match to predict. If they go there for SummerSlam, I could see them giving it back to Seth, although I'd say he's the least likely. But I could say...
I'd say Roman would be the least likely. I don't think they're going to quite put the belt right back on him yet.
Disagree. It's Roman Reigns as a franchise player. Big dog. Hoo-ah!
Maybe.
His yard. Taker clearly knows it's his yard.
That's right.
So I think Roman, Brock, Seth, and I could see Brock walking out champion. I could see Seth walking out champion. I could see Roman walking out champion in a match like that at SummerSlam, right?
It's a big match feel.
That's not a bad SummerSlam triple main event right there. Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, Roman, Brock, and Seth for the Universal Championship triple threat. What else did I say?
The McIntyre Taker.
McIntyre Taker.
Kofi Joe again?
I guess. What else is there?
I don't know. I mean, SummerSlam, they might have some part-timers, special attraction matches.
WWE is doing some sort of old-timers night next week, right?
Yeah,
They said next week on Raw it's like a reunion show or something.
Stone Cold,
The Outsiders, Hall and Nash,
Shawn, Hunter, Brett.
I
think we saw Brett.
It's funny because Brett was at Double or Nothing presenting the first ever AEW World Championship, and then to see him on Raw, it's
Didn't he call
funny.
it World Championship Wrestling at one point?
I don't know. Possibly.
World Championship Wrestling title.
Similar,
Yeah.
I thought Fight for the Fallen last night way better than Extreme Rules.
I did not see it.
Like in-ring quality, good stuff. I thought Fight for the Fallen was better. Maybe not way better, but it was definitely better. Like I'm giving this show like a 6.5. I'd give Fight for the Fallen like a 7.5. I don't think it was as good as Fyter Fest or Double or Nothing or All In. I'd say it was probably AEW's worst event, but AEW's worst show is still better than Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
It's just, what they're doing. I thought
It's the hard fact.
I mean, AEW, man, the Fight for the Fallen was really solid. Cody and Goldust, against the Bucks, tremendous match. The triple threat tag team match, the Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, those guys are Canadian guys. I think they're from Gatineau, Ottawa area, right? Yeah, they're Canadian guys. They were there against Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and Angelico and Jack Evans. Fantastic triple threat tag team match. That match was amazing. Kenny Omega and Shima was also very good. A lot of great wrestling. I've been watching wrestling just constantly for the past all day, really. I missed I didn't watch AEW live last night, so I watched it this morning, and then I started watching New Japan. So I was watching New Japan all day, and then I took a break, and then I watched Extreme Rules. So I watched I watched Fight for the Fallen, and then I watched 1.5 New Japan cards, and then I watched Extreme Rules,
which was like 4.5 hours.
Very good stuff from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Very good stuff today too. So match of the night, my match of the night, AJ Styles and Ricochet. Your match of the night.
I mean, for not saying Kevin Owens Ziggler, I'll say the main event of Seth and Becky and Lacey and Baron.
Wow, you're giving it to them.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, but they showed up for that mess. I liked the big suplex that Baron and Lacey took on the ramp. That looks pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I think it was like after the table spot.
Yeah. Where it looked like Baron and Lacey were going to suplex Becky and Seth, and then Becky and Seth reversed and suplexed them on the ramp.
It looked like a pretty rough bump, especially for Lacey. Lacey looked like she was in a lot of pain after that.
And Seth kind of him and Becky together suplexed Lacey, because it was like Becky on the end, then Lacey, then Seth, then Baron. So Seth had Baron on one arm, but Lacey on the other arm. So Seth at that point kind of did help Becky do a double team suplex on Lacey.
Yeah. So they're dabbling in the intergender, it seems.
Yeah. But like I was telling you, last week I watched a pay-per-view, Slammiversary.
Right.
Last Sunday, the main event was Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan. It was a man-on-woman match, and Sami Callihan busted her open.
Man versus woman.
What did I say?
Man on woman.
So? What's the difference?
I don't know.
All right, well, I'm not getting weird here. I'm just saying, man on man. I can't say man on man match.
Doesn't that usually mean like just like it's one-sided?
I don't know. Man versus woman.
That's how I get semantics.
Yeah. I'm gonna chop you.
All right, fine.
Woo! That's right. Real chops, not work chops.
That was Stifsky.
And that match was really good. You know, Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard, and that main evented a pay-per-view last weekend. And this weekend, I'm watching, you know, Baron and Lacey versus Becky and Seth, and I'm wondering when there was going to be more kind of man versus woman attacking, because it was an Extreme Rules match. And then we saw on the finish with Baron hitting his finishing move on Becky Lynch. Safe move, totally fine, but it was impactful. You know, It was like, oh my God.
The audience felt it too.
Yeah, you could tell the crowd was into it. Yeah.
People doing that.
It made a difference, you know? You could feel it, and that's why sometimes you got to do stuff like that. Like, it works, and I don't think it's sending the wrong message necessarily. We had a discussion about it. I was like, should we be for this or against this? But like intergender wrestling, is it good or is it bad? And I think if done correctly, it can be very good. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I could see how somebody from outside of pro wrestling might not get why that is, you know?
I could see it.
It's
and
tricky.
How you depict it is also very important.
You got to be very safe.
But like,
I remember when Bubba Dudley put Mae Young through a table, like off the stage, through a table with a power bomb. Everybody's like, yeah, cool.
Well, there's a lot of things like
a lot
that
of
they
things
wouldn't
back
do
then.
today. Even
That's
recently, that they wouldn't do today.
I was a child watching that, thinking, yeah that seems all
but
right.
like in the same match, like if Lacey was like in the middle of the ring and she was like stumbling to get up, and then Seth just ran from the corner and gave her a big curb stomp, I think that would maybe even generate a similar reaction from the audience that Baron got. I think a lot of people would have been like, "Whoa, Seth!" Hey. I don't think they would have been like, "Yeah, get her!"
Right.
If she was like kind of just standing up defenseless, kind of like Becky was.
It's definitely
it was meant to depict how Baron Corbin is a slimy guy.
Yes, it's definitely the thing for the heel to do.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the thing for Seth, who's the baby face, to be attacking Lacey Evans. And it makes sense, you know, like Sami Callihan is a heel.
Yeah.
So him and Tessa Blanchard made sense.
Yeah.
Right? And Tessa Blanchard is a badass.
And there used to be a time where, you know, the babyface Stone Cold or Triple H would hit their finisher on, you know, a woman, and
Stacy Keibler.
Or Stephanie McMahon or
whoever.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, Stone Cold did stun Stacy. He like gave her a beer and then like stunned her. And then nothing happened from that. It was just babyface coming in, babyface coming out.
We're getting a lot of comments here on the
that was 2002
on the chat. Let's check on some recent ones. Chris Carter says he agrees that all four did their best in the main event. They don't decide the spots. They can only do their best. If Al Pacino is in Battlefield Earth, you can't blame Pacino. And now somebody else saying that was John Travolta in Battlefield Earth. But that's a solid point.
Yeah, like because Al Pacino's a good actor that if he has bad material, he can write. I mean, some actors can work with bad material. And
yes, they can.
Spin to gold.
Like Al Pacino in one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, Jack and Jill.
There you go. Al Pacino is one of those guys.
I just love the concept that like Al Pacino is in love with basically Adam Sandler in a wig, who's supposed to be playing Adam Sandler's sister,
and he's playing himself.
Yeah, well, it kind of like
he's playing Al Pacino.
But Adam Sandler is kind of playing a version of himself.
Yeah.
But Al Pacino just plays Al Pacino, who's in love with Adam Sandler's twin sister, who's just Adam Sandler in a wig. Is really like there's no effort put into making Adam Sandler look like a woman or anything, you know? I just like the concept of the movie, all right? It's a terrible movie, but sometimes Pacino, by God, he makes it work.
He adds a certain gravitas.
Shit, it just cracks me up. Yeah. Still, just the concept of it is hilarious.
I could talk about Pacino forever. I love Pacino.
I could talk about how funny Jack and Jill is forever. What a stupid movie.
You ever seen Dog Day Afternoon?
God. Yeah, of course.
Great movie.
Hey. Oh.
Attica.
All right. Let's see some of the other comments here. Raw reunion. People were excited about that. Owens versus Shane. Special guest referee Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's a solid match for SummerSlam there. Bob Cote
That is
recommending.
actually a really good idea.
Chris Carter says Cesaro Black was the match of the night. That was a very good match. Bernie says Kevin Owens match of the night. Look at this guy.
Bernie Sanders?
Well, it looks like Bernie Sanders. Look at that guy.
Oh, man, we got Bernie Sanders
I
in
think
the house.
Bernie Sanders is watching the show.
Let me just say this.
And look at this. I mean, Bernie Sanders, you're like you like that guy.
Well, Bernie. I feel the burn.
And you're and he's agreeing with you, saying Kevin Owens was the match of the night.
We think alike. I like this.
Paul M saying Daniel Bryan dropping both titles, the WWE and tag team, to the New Day. He believes is some sort of undercurrent storyline going on, like something we should be paying attention to. That's a solid point. You know, he's lost everything to the New Day. Daniel Bryan definitely needs some revenge. And what better revenge would it be than taking the title from Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam?
That would be pretty good revenge.
I'd rather that than Joe and Kofi again. I think Bryan and Kofi have more of a story. I think Kofi's just been crushing everybody to kind of circle back to Daniel Bryan. Has Bryan ever... He got a rematch on Raw, right?
Yeah,
soon after.
A rematch on Raw.
Was it the night after Mania or like the week after?
The first couple weeks of the wild card. Maybe even the first week of the wild card.
Yeah.
To demonstrate it.
So he has had a rematch and he has lost clean again to Kofi.
To Trouble in Paradise.
But... I don't know. I would circle back to Bryan at this point.
He could win a 5-man #1 contenders match, and there you go.
Or just do Bryan, Joe, Kofi triple threat. Give me 2 triple threat world title matches at SummerSlam.
I could see Bryan maybe being a little bit more unhinged or something. You know, if we're going with that, you know, New Day took everything from me. You know, he could be like...
He could be really mad at the
Grow
New
out
Day.
his beard a little longer.
We'll see what they do with Daniel Bryan. Hopefully something, though, right?
They got to do something because he's just so damn good.
It's weird that Finn Balor's kind of disappeared, and then he loses his title on the pre-show. I wonder if something's up with him more than... I don't think it's an injury because he wrestled, right?
Do you think it's a
Maybe it's a contract thing?
Interesting.
If you were him, would you want to stay? With everything going on in professional wrestling, all the cool opportunities right now for a pro wrestler?
Yeah, and I mean, he's been with the company now since, 2000... Well,
I don't know. I could tell you in a second. It's been a while.
I remember hearing when they signed
Brock
Prince
Lesnar,
Devitt, and that was a big deal.
Brock Lesnar's the champion again.
And I remember people were talking for a long time about how this guy is going to change everything, and he's giving room to be the next big star. And
2014.
2014. Okay.
So he's been there for 5 years.
And I'm sure he's been hearing a lot from Triple H saying, "We're going to put you on top, kid. You're going to headline all the WrestleManias against me." And that hasn't come to fruition, you know, and he's no spring chicken. Maybe he's weighing his options. Maybe he wants to go different pastures.
I just find it interesting that he's barely been on TV, then all of a sudden he drops his title on the first match of the pre-show against Nakamura. Strange. I don't know if it's got anything to do with anything, but it's an odd move.
It's not the treatment Dean Ambrose got on his way out.
The Revival and the Usos. Revival beat the Usos. 12 and a half minutes. One of those matches that was a little too long for what it was.
They got double the time
like
they get on
match.
Raw.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, okay.
It's 2 segment, 3 maybe.
This wasn't a 2 out of 3 falls match because they didn't have to go to commercial.
Too bad.
Yeah. Black and Cesaro was really good. I thought they had a great match. Under 10 minutes, you know, solid. They got a lot in there. Cesaro, super strong. They worked well together. Black beat Cesaro.
As I expected.
That's it. It was just kind of like, okay, I knew it was going to be a very well done wrestling match. I knew Black was going to win.
People might be talking about, oh, maybe Cesaro's in line for a push now. Oh, man, they're going to finally pull the trigger on Cesaro?
Yeah, well, people were kind of talking like that a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. And
a couple years ago.
And it just never, ever happens. And here he is, just used to put over Alistair Black, who's probably just going to be used in the same way that Cesaro has been for the past, you know, however many years.
He's going to put Bray Wyatt over probably Alistair Black.
Yeah, like Cesaro's here to put over a guy who's, I don't know, like,
what's his ceiling?
What are they going to do with him? Is he going to wrestle Brock Lesnar at, you know, whatever, SummerSlam?
I don't see it. Not at SummerSlam, but I don't know if I see an Alistair Black Brock Lesnar feud in the future.
Like, there was nothing on the line in this Alistair Black Cesaro match. There was nothing.
No, it
meant nothing.
He's gained nothing either from all those video packages and
or
vignettes.
From beating Cesaro.
No,
because they haven't really built Cesaro enough for you to care about anybody who beats him.
He's just beaten Cedric Alexander a couple times,
and that doesn't matter because everybody beats Cedric Alexander.
He's a masked man.
Even when you don't know it's Cedric Alexander, he still loses. He's supposed to surprise Shane and Drew McIntyre. He's like wearing a mask. But he still loses, and then he reveals himself after. It's like, hey, cool, you suck, you lose.
He wasn't on the card.
Ridiculous. Of course he wasn't on the card.
A lot of people weren't on the card.
Well, I mean, they fit a lot of people on the card.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn was not on the card. He tweeted from some ice cream parlor in, like, New York, right? It's pretty funny.
I'm guessing The Miz is shooting a movie or something.
Here's a question for you.
Or Randy.
That's what I'm wondering. I was about to ask you.
Rested for SummerSlam.
Where's Randy?
Well, he worked Saudi Arabia against Trips.
When was that? June? Early June?
About a month ago.
He's been gone since then.
He's rested for SummerSlam. It's Randy. You got to give Randy his rest. I'm feeling the Giant North. Hey, give Randy his due here.
Yeah, give Randy his time.
Hey. He's got to wrestle Kofi.
You fucker.
Watch it happen, man.
You motherfucker.
Who's going to wrestle Kofi? Oh, RKO.
Yeah.
RKO. That's happening.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, Brian.
It's not going to happen. Okay. So Alistair Black, he'll probably wrestle Randy at SummerSlam. That makes sense. That seems like a Randy type match for SummerSlam, doesn't it?
Yeah, or Bray.
Randy and Bray.
House of Horrors 2.
Again? Ooh.
That's right.
Okay.
With the puppets and shit.
Yeah. So Braun and Bobby, not very good. Braun wins that thing. Bayley just beats Nikki Cross and Alexa. After all this, after all the build, it was just like, Bayley just wins.
So Alexa looked concerned for Nikki after the match, so maybe she's not so bad after all. I'm trying it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, okay. The whole thing was, well, is Alexa really Nikki's friend? Nikki has done all these things to make sure that Alexa wins the title. She's won a rematch with Bayley for her by beating Bayley. Then she wins a beat the clock challenge against Bayley so she can make it a 2-on-1 handicap match against Bayley at the pay-per-view for the title. So it's finally 2-on-1. And what happens? Oh, they don't really use a 2-on-1 advantage at all, and Bayley just beats them.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? What was all that? So many promos, so much talk, so much time spent, and that's the payoff? It was fucking no payoff at all.
Is that it? I hope that's it. I've been pretty sick of this feud.
Shit, so Alexa's just cool, but she sucks. Like, that's it.
She's a jabroni now.
That's what we have come to learn about the feud. The payoff was Bayley's super awesome. You cannot fuck with Bayley. She will beat you up. If you're Nikki Cross, if you're Alexa, 2-on-1, it doesn't matter. She will beat you in 10 minutes flat. 2-on-1, Bayley is the champ, and no one can get up from that top rope elbow drop, which that's cool. If you want to put that over, that's fine. Alexa Bliss, total jabroni, good friend to Nikki Cross, but jabroni. Nikki Cross, very good friend to Alexa Bliss, but also jabroni. So they're really good friends, but they're jabronis. They're, the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville of Monday Night Raw.
I can't say I hate that, though.
They're heels. They're really nice to each other. They're actually friends, but they're jobbers.
Yeah, or the Iconics.
Like, I could see Bayley beating Mandy and Sonya 2-on-1. In fact, I think she did probably a couple weeks ago.
She beat the Iconics 2-on-1, too.
She beat the Iconics 2-on-1?
Probably.
Yeah, exactly. They're like the Iconics or Mandy and Bayley. They're just there to be jobbers, and that's what Nikki and Alexa are. If that's the point they're trying to get across, then mission accomplished, because that's what my takeaway was from that whole feud, that whole match, and all of this build for that.
When you put it out like that, I'm fine with that, because I've never been... I mean, I'm fine with Super Bayley. I've always been a big fan of Bayley. I like her getting this push and seeing the fan support behind her, too.
Super Bayley.
And yeah, it fits right there. It's like Super Grover. And I've never been high on Alexa Bliss. When she was like going over everybody, I just never quite got it. I never really liked her promos. The moment of Bliss, I feel, is always, one of many dead parts of Raw, but I don't feel she adds anything. And to see her kind of being brought back down to earth a bit, a little bit lower down the tier, I don't hate that. I want to see other people step up.
She doesn't need to be a main eventer.
No,
She
not
could just
at
be
all.
a lower level wrestler.
Yeah, and if they want to bring her back up, fine, but let her toil away for 6 months to a year. I don't hate that at all.
I don't care.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me.
If it elevates Nikki Cross from that, good.
I hope it does. Because
It's
Nikki
a-
Cross deserves better. She's a very good wrestler. I want to see her in main events.
Yeah, and like other good wrestlers, who
Yeah.
aren't getting much of a spotlight. Let's go.
Speaking of wrestlers not getting a spotlight, I'm seeing a lot of comments on the chat about the women's tag team titles. Bob Cote says it's a disgrace not having them defended on pay-per-views, and I do not disagree. We're seeing a lot of comments wondering where the women's tag team championships are, and I'm not really sure. Where are the Iconics? I know that the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, won a match against them in Japan that was not televised, but they won the match, which earned them a title shot at some point. We don't know when.
Maybe Tuesday.
And then they announced it on SmackDown. They had a little promo. They've been having little promos with the Iconics. Paige slapped one of the Iconics this week on SmackDown. But there's no sign of them. We haven't really seen them wrestle. Kairi Sane and Asuka are two of the best wrestlers the WWE has, and they're not being used
At all.
So they need to get those tag team titles on them right away so they could start doing something with that division.
Yeah.
They're a great centerpiece to that division if you want to use Kairi Sane and Asuka as the ones to build everyone else off of, as the ones to be great champions and make those belts mean something, and also, have good matches with everybody they face. You want to showcase those belts as belts that are held by some quality wrestlers, and it really doesn't get much more quality than Asuka and Kairi Sane. You put them in there, they're going to have a good match with everybody they're in the ring with. So let's go. It's something that's a little bit frustrating because I feel like they could have done this a month or two ago.
Easily.
And they've just been killing time, not paying attention, just waiting or whatever. I don't know why it's taken so long to do something with the tag team titles. They're new belts, and they've really squandered them.
It's very strange how they've just really pushed it to the back burner so quickly, because they made a big deal of introducing them at Mania. It was a big thing, or right before Mania. And, and Bayley and Sasha and the whole drama fallout from everything that happened there, and yeah, they've just done nothing. It's been total squandering. I don't know if it's because of injuries or just it doesn't come into Vince's head, so it just doesn't get written into the show. It's hard to explain. Maybe there'll be a podcast or something where someone will explain further on that down the line.
I need to talk
know
to
more about it.
I need to talk to Natty Neidhart.
And Natty probably knows.
They should have put the fucking belts on Natty and Beth Phoenix.
That would have been cool.
They should have done that.
Or kept it on Bayley and Sasha.
Nah. Sasha was going to take her ball and go home. Sasha lost her smile, all right?
Or wherever she is.
Wherever she is,
I think
whatever.
her husband's still on the road. He works with them. He's still on Up, Up, Down, Down. And so.
Yeah. I mean, I like Sasha Banks. She's a talent and all, but
I don't know. She's been also.
I don't know where she
quiet.
is. Well, she's been on Twitter and stuff. She's traveling. She's doing her thing. I don't know if she's going to come back. I assume she probably will. But I don't know. I think she's kind of like a Dolph Ziggler at this point.
She's trying a stand-up comedy career.
Well, just kind of, taking the time out and then coming back in a while. I think you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, you need a break.
They freeze your contract, though.
Don't you have like a guaranteed minimum or something? Like even if you don't show to dates?
Probably.
Yeah. But it's a minimum. Hope she saved her money.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Sasha Banks. I think we'll see her back in a WWE. I would say by the end of the summer, right?
Man, if I'm the cons, I'd be throwing a lot of money at her because the women's division AEW
But that's what
could
I'm
use
saying.
some star power.
I don't think they could get Sasha Banks. I don't think she can go anywhere. I think she's under contract with WWE.
For a while?
Yeah. I know there's a deal where, like, if you're injured, they kind of stop your contract.
That's true.
And then they extend it for when you come back. So the time missing, they keep it. So if Sasha's just kind of taking a time off or whatever, I don't know if they're going to freeze her contract or let her contract run out. Maybe she's letting her contract run out. That's also something you could do. I don't know, man.
It's tricky contract law.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah, they could always sue you for breach or...
Yeah, or you could fight to escape it,
They could, fight you with lawyers.
I'm no lawyer, all right? I'm no lawyer. I understand
I'm no big city lawyer.
I understand what goes on in pro wrestling. I'm definitely not a lawyer, though, okay?
I know Vince likes to stick, though, Jerry McDevitt on people. As lawyer?
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to get sued by Jerry McDevitt. Oh. I'm not going to say anything about Dr. Amen on this podcast.
No, he's a stand-up guy.
Good man. No problem with him. Or Colt Cabana or CM Punk. Should I even say those three names in succession? Am I going to get sued now?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. So, WWE Extreme Rules I thought was a decent show. Not the best, not the worst, kind of middle of the road. We've got some new champions. Things are going to be different. Definitely a different landscape on Raw and SmackDown. AJ Styles with the U.S. title on Raw. And Shinsuke Nakamura with the SmackDown, with the Intercontinental title on SmackDown. Is that the deal?
Well, that's
with
the wild card, pal.
Exactly, with wild card rules. Who knows?
I read Roman Reigns is gonna be on Raw tomorrow. Like it's a big surprise. SmackDown star Roman Reigns.
Is that a thing they announced now? Like,
they did like a little press release. Say, tune into Raw tomorrow to see SmackDown star Roman Reigns.
And you're telling me they're not ready to put the title back on him?
Well, I mean, not that they're not ready to. They're always ready to. It doesn't feel quite right yet.
Feels about right. I would do it if I were them. It's Roman Reigns. It's the big dog. He won an ESPY for best WWE moment. All right.
I wonder who got to pick the winner of that award.
It was a guy. I'll give you a hint. His initials are VKM. It's Vince McMahon. Yeah. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, pal.
Were the other nominees other Roman Reigns moments?
No, it was like
Becky
and Ronda, something, blah, blah, blah. Obviously going to be Roman.
Roman coming back from leukemia.
Yeah, I think it was, Firefly Funhouse.
Seriously?
No. Firefly Funhouse. Shane McMahon and The Miz having their awesome match at WrestleMania. And Roman Reigns coming back from cancer. Those were the nominees, and yeah. Unbelievably, Roman won.
I'd vote for Roman.
Gotta love Roman Reigns. The big dog. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. We've been going nearly an hour. Should we take some final comments? Jake McDonald says, Pacino, the GOAT.
That's right.
I agree. Pacino or De Niro? Pacino versus De Niro. What do you think?
I'm going to say Pacino. I would say Pacino. I think Pacino's had a little bit more diversified roles. I don't know. He just has that extra kind of gravitas in his weight. There's more Pacino movies, I would say, I like more than De Niro.
Yeah? I don't know. I like
tough.
De Niro movies, though. Oh,
maybe I prefer.
The thing is, they're in a lot of movies together.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Maybe I prefer Pacino performances and De Niro movies. Is that a thing?
See, Pacino wasn't in Goodfellas.
Oh.
And Goodfellas is one of the best. But then again, De Niro wasn't Tony Montana.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You know. I love Glengarry Glen Ross. Pacino's fantastic in that movie.
I'm a big fan of Analyze This.
Yes, you are.
It's a good movie. I like a lot of stupid goddamn comedies, don't I? I like a lot of bad movies.
It was fine to Analyze This.
It was all right.
That wasn't very good.
Yeah. Notice I didn't say analyze that.
No.
I said I like analyze this.
There's a lot of really good Pacino movies from like the 70s that people don't talk about.
Meet the Fuckers was all right. The first one there.
There's a great Pacino one called And Justice for All. That's the one where he goes, "You're out of order. There's all that systems."
Oh yeah,
order."
yeah.
But it's actually a really good movie.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Taxi Driver is good.
You're gonna tell me you like Pacino performances over De Niro, and then you're gonna forget about Taxi Driver right here? I mean, come on, man.
It's tough.
That Taxi Driver was a bad motherfucker.
Michael Corleone, though.
Vito Corleone, though.
Yeah, young Vito. I mean,
young Vito.
Good, but Michael.
He was good. Yeah, Michael.
No.
I don't know. I think
It's
I
tough.
might be Team De Niro on this one. I love them both, though. You gotta love them both.
They both made a lot of bad late career moves.
Oh yeah, they've both had some terrible movies.
They've made some alright ones too.
But they've made some of the best
mostly
ones ever.
for HBO. Whenever there's like an HBO movie with De Niro or Pacino, they do some like good work in that. Like I saw that Joe Paterno.
I didn't see that. Was that good?
Pacino was good.
Pacino was really good where he played Kevorkian.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Or
in
Angels
that
in
movie.
America.
I didn't see that.
That was good. Or with the hair, the producer who killed his wife.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one either.
Not Ringo Starr.
No, Ringo Starr didn't kill anybody.
No.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Oh, what his name's not coming to me. The Wallace sound. Spectre. Phil Spector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why the
This
fuck
has
are
been the De Niro and Pacino hour.
Why the fuck are we talking about Al Pacino and Robert De Niro?
It's a good podcast. There's a good podcast where they watch just Denzel Washington movies and talk about them.
Oh.
So it's called Denzel Washington's the greatest actor of all time. We could do one for like Pacino.
I want to do De Niro though, because I think De Niro is the greatest of all
De
time.
Niro.
All right. Well, maybe if there's enough support here, if you guys want it, we'll do the Robert De Niro, Al Pacino super podcast. The Simon Brothers watch Pacino and De Niro.
Sounds like a good Patreon feature.
Yeah, it's just like a new feature to the show. The Simon Brothers watch Pacino, De Niro.
That'd be good. Us watching Goodfellas? I think people would like to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, we could. Oh, like us watching Goodfellas.
Yeah, like a commentary track.
Like people. Oh, like we're watching Goodfellas and doing commentary on the movie.
Yeah, we could make like a 2.5 hour file and people could download it. So if you watch Goodfellas and you put on our track,
you could watch Goodfellas with us.
It's like you're sitting and watching with us. You'll hear stories about.
You think people would want to do that?
People do listen to that stuff.
People do that,
those.
Right?
They provide full-length commentary tracks to movies.
The internet is crazy.
Yeah.
Gotta love the internet. We love you, internet.
Peace.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching us tonight on the WWE Extreme Rules post show. Watch me again. I'll be back on Thursday.
I believe so.
Thursday night, 8 p.m. Ringside Report with AJ and Freddie. We're gonna talk about MMA. We're gonna talk about the UFC that just happened. Uriah Faber knocking out Ricky Simone. I'm no longer calling him Ricky Simon because I don't want to be associated. He's Ricky Simone from now on. You lose to Faber, you're out of the family.
You're out of here.
And Jermaine Durandamy with that knockout, controversial knockout over Aspen Ladd, or was it? I don't think it was controversial. I think the commentary was fucked on that.
Tune in to find out.
I was pissed with the commentary. I don't know what they were seeing, but they weren't seeing the same fight I was. Anyways, we'll get to that Thursday. See, I'm pissed already. It's going to be a good show. Thursday, 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe and like this video. And if you subscribe, you click that bell, you'll get the notifications enabled. So every time we have new content on the channel, you'll be able to watch it.
Yeah,
you'll get a notification. So we have Ringside Report on the channel. We have coming up on Friday at about 12:45, we'll have Dave and Johnny live. Johnny North and I will be, I guess, recapping AEW's Fight for the Fallen and previewing something in pro wrestling. Probably talking about some 90 Day Fiancé as well. So tune in to that Friday at about 12:45 in the afternoon. And then Wrestling Uncensored every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. is available on the YouTube channel. How about that? Every Saturday, 10 a.m., Wrestling Uncensored. You can watch Johnny and I talking about everything in the WWE. This guy is not Johnny North.
No.
You cannot follow him on Twitter at Ringside Report because that's just the Ringside Report official Twitter because this guy doesn't actually have a
will
Twitter.
not respond.
So you can follow him nowhere.
Nope. No one knows my thoughts but me.
That's right. Well, sometimes you share them here on the show.
Sometimes.
There you go. Sometimes.
I pick and choose.
So thank you for stepping in for Johnny North.
My pleasure.
Always good, doing the damn thing. You bastard. And so on. And so on and so forth. What else do we have? Do we have to plug anything else? RingsideReport.net.
Click that bell.
RingsideReport.net. Go to the website for all the info on everything else. As for us, we're done. I'll be back with the big man on Friday and Saturday, and then I'll be back with Freddie and AJ before that on Thursday. Thanks for watching. This has been the Extreme Rules Post Show. We love ya.